His wife left for a business trip, but he caught her kissing another man in a nightclub. What he did next shattered her dreams. The nightclub was alive with golden light and champagne noise. Music thumped, as men in suits toasted names that would hit tomorrow's finance pages. Graham smiled and raised his glass as his team erupted in laughter. Tonight was victory. $200 million sealed. Years of work finally paying off. His phone buzzed against the marble counter. His wife's message flashed across the screen. Long day, heading to bed now. I'll call you in the morning, Graham replied. Good night, my love. He leaned back, calm, content, until the crowd shifted. Across the room, a woman laughed. Not just any laugh, hers, the same tilt of the head, the same sound he'd fallen asleep to for 7 years. Vivien, his wife, the woman who said she was miles away, asleep in a Boston hotel. She wasn't on a business trip. She was in a booth. Another man's hand rested on her thigh, his face inches from hers beneath the colored lights. And when she kissed him, slow, easy, certain, the air left the room. Graham didn't flinch, didn't shout, didn't even blink. He just watched the truth slicing through everything he thought he knew about love. The sun dipped low over the quiet suburbs of Menlo Park, slanting golden light across the hardwood floor of the Mercer home. The dining table was cluttered with neatly folded clothes. A sleek black carry-on suitcase open at one end. Next to it, Graham Mercer held up a navy blazer, inspecting the shoulder seams like he was folding part of her soul into it. Too sharp for Boston? He asked. Vivien didn't look up from her phone. They're crypto founders, Graham. I could walk in wearing a bathrobe and still out-negotiate them. He laughed softly and laid the blazer carefully over the suitcase's edge. She had that thing again. The edge in her voice that always came out right before a major client meeting. She wasn't nervous. She was calculating. Vivien Hayes. Mercer was the kind of woman law firms whispered about in closed-door meetings. Brilliant, cold under pressure. Already listed as a potential managing partner at 30. She'd made her name defending blockchain CEOs through regulatory storms. And lately, reshaping mergers between billion-dollar tech startups with an ease that made old money nervous. But here in their home, barefoot in a soft sweater, her hair pulled back, she was just Viv. His Viv. He leaned against the doorway, arms crossed. Watching her tap through her itinerary, her tan coat hung on the chair, passport tucked into a leather wallet on the table. Her favorite heels, cream Louboutins, sat by the entryway like obedient pets. You sure you don't want me to drive you? He asked. I cleared my schedule. Vivien smiled without looking up. You've got board prep at 8, and I've got a driver coming. I'm not letting you skip a meeting the week. You're about to close a $200 million federal contract. He exhaled a small laugh. I'd still rather carry your bag. You already carry me, Graham. Every day. She finally looked up from her phone. Her eyes were clear, calm, loving. She reached for his wrist, pulled him gently toward her, and wrapped both arms around his waist. I mean it, she said. I wouldn't be half of what I am if you hadn't held the line all these years. Everyone thinks I'm the force in this marriage, but it's you. He pressed his chin to the top of her head. That's funny. I tell people the same thing about you. They stood there for a long moment. No hurry, no tension. Her heartbeat was slow against his chest. Nothing about her body said lie. Nothing about her voice trembled. If there were secrets inside her suitcase, they were packed beneath silk blouses and meeting briefs. Hidden so well even truth couldn't find them. A soft chime echoed from the front door. The car was here. Vivien pulled away, zipped up her carry-on, and slipped her coat on. Graham took the suitcase, rolled it behind her, and walked her to the door. The driver, a discreet man in a charcoal cap, stepped forward and lifted the bag into the trunk without a word. She turned, leaned in, and kissed Graham slow, like she always did. Not performative, not cold. A kiss full of warmth, familiarity, and practiced devotion. I'll call you from the hotel, she whispered against his cheek. You better, he said. And don't take all your meals with people who quote crypto charts during dinner. Deal. She turned back, slid into the car, and gave a small wave as the Lincoln glided down the street. Graham stood at the door, until the taillights turned the corner and vanished. Then he closed it slowly, took a long breath, and walked back inside. The house was still. Her scent still lingered. The kitchen was spotless, the lights dimmed, the silence, comforting. His phone buzzed. A message from her. Vivien, missing you already. Babe. Graham, same here. Love you. Sweetheart. He smiled, tossed the phone on the couch, and poured himself a glass of scotch. The sound of ice clinking in the glass echoed in the quiet room. Everything in his world at that moment was exactly where it should be, or so he thought. The next 2 days were exactly how a marriage should be, steady, warm, reassuring. Every text from Vivien arrived like clockwork. Every call threaded with laughter and gentle affection. She spoke about boardroom tension and late nights over cold coffee. Graham never doubted a word. Each morning, she sent him a quick selfie from her hotel room. The city skyline behind her. Or so he believed. She looked radiant, poised, exhausted in the way hardworking people look when they're chasing success. On the second day, she even video called while he drove to the office, her tone soft and teasing. Boss, when are you closing the deal on that contract? Very soon, he answered, smiling. You'll come home to a richer husband. Don't worry. Her laugh filled the car speakers, light and familiar. It disarmed him. That evening, his office glowed with the dim, triumphant haze of victory. The contract they'd chased for 5 months, the $200 million autonomous vehicle deal with the Federal Transport Agency, was signed, sealed, and wired. His startup's valuation had just doubled overnight. The future was electric, both literally and financially. His best friend and co-founder, Noah Pierce, burst into his office holding a bottle of 18-year-old Macallan. Brother, tonight's the night, we celebrate. Graham chuckled. I just want to go home, man. Watch a documentary and crash. No. You don't land 200 mil and sleep on it. We're going to Elysium, the big club downtown. You can toast your success with overpriced champagne and deafening bass. He resisted for a moment. But the adrenaline of the deal, the thought of Vivien returning proud and happy, the rare taste of total success, it all swirled together and dulled his instinct to say no. Fine, he said, laughing. Just one drink. By the time the city skyline unfolded through his windshield, it was past 10 p.m. Elysium was alive. A blue glass tower pulsing with sound, the kind of place where finance, fame, and sin mingled without shame. Tesla Roadsters, Ferraris, and lucid airs lined the valet. A soft drizzle slicked the streets, turning neon lights into liquid mirrors. Inside, the air was heavy with cologne, bass, and ambition. Every corner smelled like expensive perfume and whispered secrets. Noah led the way through the crowd, greeting a few venture capital acquaintances on the way. A table for the deal maker of the decade, Noah shouted, raising his glass. Graham grinned, embarrassed, but content. For once, life made perfect sense. Until it didn't. It happened in seconds. Across the room in a VIP booth, bathed in violet light, he caught a glimpse of a woman's silhouette. The tilt of her head, the way her fingers brushed the rim of a glass. The familiar cascade of dark hair over one shoulder. He froze. Then she laughed. That laugh, gentle, elegant, effortless, sliced through the noise. Vivien. She wasn't in Boston. She wasn't in a meeting. She wasn't jet-lagged or tired, or negotiating a merger. She was right there, in the heart of the city, wrapped in the arm of another man. Graham's blood went cold. His pulse didn't rage. It slowed. He stood motionless, watching his wife lean in and kiss another man like she kissed him before leaving. Softly, comfortably, as if she belonged there. Noah followed his gaze, jaw tightening. Man, is that... Don't, Graham said quietly, eyes fixed on her. Don't say a word. He didn't move closer, didn't shout, didn't make a scene. He simply watched. The kiss ended. The man whispered something in her ear. Vivien smiled, tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, and lifted her glass for a toast. The world around him dimmed into silence. Every sound flattened, every thought stilled. Graham didn't move for almost a full minute. The music was loud, the lights kept flashing, but it all sounded distant. Vivien was still in that booth, her hand on another man's chest, laughing like she belonged there. Then he felt a hand on his shoulder. Man, let's go, Noah said quietly. You don't want to be here. Graham didn't answer. He was still staring. His throat felt dry. Noah stepped closer, blocking his view. Come on, Graham, we're leaving. That was when Graham finally blinked. He turned around slowly and nodded once. Yeah, let's go. They walked out together. No shouting, no confrontation. Just the slow walk of two men who knew the truth without needing to say it. Outside, the rain had turned into a light drizzle. The cold air hit his face, but he didn't feel it. Noah handed the valet his ticket, and they stood there in silence until the black Mercedes rolled up. Graham slid into the passenger seat. The engine started, soft and steady, and the city lights blurred through the wet windshield. For a long time, no one spoke. Halfway through the ride, Noah glanced over. "You okay?" Graham gave a short laugh, but it came out flat. "You saw it too, right?" "I didn't imagine that." Noah's grip on the steering wheel tightened. "You didn't imagine it." The car rolled past the glass towers, past the streets, where they used to have dinners after work. Graham looked out the window, and memories started crawling in. Memories that now made sense. He remembered last winter when Vivien told him she had to work late. He'd brought her dinner to her office as a surprise. The receptionist had said she'd already left an hour earlier. When she came home that night, she said she'd been across town at a client's office. He had believed her. He remembered her sudden love for business trips. At first, they were once every few months. Then they became once every few weeks. She'd always come home tired, but smiling, saying deals were going great. He'd be the one massaging her shoulders, telling her how proud he was. He remembered her new phone, the one she said she needed for secure calls. That was when she started carrying it everywhere, even to the bathroom. He had joked about it, and she had laughed it off. Then there was her perfume, the one he used to love. A few months back, she started wearing a different one, stronger, sharper. When he asked why she changed it, she said the old one was too sweet for serious meetings. He had smiled, and agreed. He thought she was growing into her power. Now it all felt different. The car turned into their neighborhood. Streetlights lined the road, shining on the rainwater gathered in the gutters. Graham kept his eyes on the glass, watching his reflection instead of the view outside. "Remember that night she forgot your anniversary dinner?" Noah asked quietly, trying to keep him talking. "She said she was on a call with the New York team." Graham nodded. "Yeah, I sent her flowers to the office. The receptionist told me she was on leave that day." He laughed again, this time without sound. "I told myself it was a mix-up." They drove past the park where he and Vivien used to jog on weekends. He could still see her running ahead, ponytail swinging, laughing as she called him slow. He had loved how confident she looked, how untouchable. Now that same confidence made him sick. When they pulled into his driveway, the rain had stopped. The house looked peaceful. The porch light glowed softly through the mist. Noah parked and turned off the engine. Neither of them moved. After a moment, Graham said quietly, "She was always so calm, you know? Even when I made mistakes, she'd just smile. I thought that was maturity. Maybe it was guilt." Noah looked at him. "You want me to stay tonight?" Graham shook his head slowly. "No, go home. I'll be fine." Noah hesitated, then nodded. "Call me if you need me." Graham stepped out and stood beside the car as it pulled away. The sound of the tires faded down the street, leaving only the hum of the night. He stood there for a long while, staring at the front door. Everything inside was exactly where he'd left it. Her shoes by the wall, her mug on the counter, her laughter still living in the air. And yet the woman he loved was someone else entirely. He took a slow breath and whispered to himself, every sign was there. I just didn't want to see it. Then he opened the door and walked inside, the house swallowing him in silence. The house was dark when Graham walked in. He didn't turn on the lights. He hung his jacket on the hook by the door, loosened his tie, and stood for a long moment, staring at nothing. The quiet pressed down like weight. He poured himself a glass of water, but didn't drink it. The glass just sat there on the counter, catching the faint reflection of the kitchen clock. It was past midnight. His phone buzzed in his pocket. A text from Noah. "Noah, you sure you're good?" Graham, "Yeah, just tired." He set the phone down, then opened his contacts. His thumb hovered over a name. Devin Holt, the same private investigator he'd hired once for a background check before his company's merger. Discreet, efficient, expensive. He pressed call. Devin Holt. A low voice answered. "It's Graham Mercer," he said quietly. "I need surveillance footage from Elysium nightclub tonight." "Who am I looking for?" "My wife. She was with a man. I'll send you her picture. I want the video from every camera. Inside, outside, the valet, everything." Devin paused for half a beat. "Understood. You'll have what you need by morning." The line went dead. Graham set the phone on the counter and leaned both hands on the marble surface. He wasn't shaking. He wasn't angry. He just felt hollow, like someone had pulled the ground from under him and replaced it with silence. His eyes drifted to the photo frame on the side table. Their anniversary picture. Her head on his shoulder, his arm around her. The perfect couple everyone envied. He turned it face down. By morning, the footage arrived. A secure link, password protected. Devin didn't waste time. Graham sat at the dining table, laptop open, the soft light from the window spilling over his face. He clicked the link, entered the password, and waited. The screen came alive with grainy footage. Angles from security cameras, hallway shots, timestamps, blinking at the bottom. He watched her walk in, wearing the same cream coat she'd left the house in. No hesitation, no disguise. Just confidence. She greeted the bouncer, smiled, adjusted her hair. The man followed minutes later, laughing with another friend. They hugged near the bar. Then she leaned in, kissed him on the cheek, whispered something close to his ear. Later, the same kiss repeated. Longer, slower, certain. Graham pressed pause. He stared at the frozen image on the screen. Her hand on another man's neck, her wedding ring catching the light. He leaned back in his chair and covered his mouth with one hand. The air in the room felt heavy, stale. Devin had included still photos too. Images from valet cameras, hotel entrances, timestamps, receipts, all of it lined up. Her business trip never left the city. She hadn't gone to Boston. She hadn't gone anywhere. Every lie was documented in high resolution. For the next hour, Graham didn't move. He just sat there, replaying each clip, each still photo, until disbelief became reality. Then slowly, he opened his laptop's folder and saved everything. Organized, time-stamped, named by date and location. He didn't plan to hide it. Not this time. At noon, he called Noah. "Did you sleep?" Noah asked. "No, you going to confront her?" Graham stared at the laptop screen. "No, she lie. She's good at that." "So what now?" He was quiet for a moment. Then, in a low voice, he said, "The world deserves to see who she really is." He opened his social media tabs, one by one. His hands didn't shake. He selected the clearest footage. The one where she was laughing in the man's arms, and attached it to a post. He wrote only 10 words. "My wife said she was on a business trip." Then he clicked post. Within minutes, it started spreading. Comments, shares, reactions. Someone tagged the man. Another tagged Vivien's law firm. Then the hashtags began. The Elysium scandal, crypto affair, lawyer lies. Within an hour, it was trending. His phone started ringing. Noah, reporters, blocked numbers. But he ignored them all. He stood by the window, arms crossed, watching the clouds roll over the skyline. By evening, everything had changed. Vivien's firm issued a statement calling the footage manipulated. A few of her clients unfollowed her. One brand partnership removed her picture from their website. Online, strangers debated the truth. But those who watched the videos didn't need to be convinced. The internet had made its verdict. And somewhere in the middle of the chaos, Graham felt his first breath of calm. Not joy, not revenge. Just quiet. He closed the laptop and whispered to himself. Now she knows what truth feels like. Outside, the city kept moving. Inside, the man who once built his world on love was learning how fast lies could burn it down. By the next morning, Vivien's name was everywhere. Her face, her laugh, her ring frozen in the nightclub footage filled every social feed. On TikTok, people slowed the clip down frame by frame. On Twitter, Vivien Mercer trended next to Silicon Valley infidelity scandal. Her firm locked comments on its official account, but the damage was already done. By evening, she was at the front door. When Graham opened it, she looked nothing like the woman who'd left for a business trip. Her makeup was smudged, her hair undone, and her voice trembled when she said his name. "How on earth could you post those videos and photos?" she demanded. Her voice shook between anger and disbelief. "You've lost your mind, Graham. Look carefully. Those are fake. Someone is targeting us, targeting our marriage, and you just handed them the knife." He shut the door behind her. Quiet, calm. "You should have at least confirmed it first," she said, pacing the living room. "You of all people should know better. You're a businessman. You verify facts before taking drastic actions. But no, you saw a few clips online and decided to blow up your own home." He didn't answer. "Graham, say something." He looked at her, steady. "You want me to confirm it?" "Yes," she snapped. "Because what you've done is madness. I've worked for years to build my name, and you. He interrupted softly. Then you'll explain this. He pulled his phone from his pocket, opened the folder, and played the original file from the investigator. The one with the club's internal timestamp, clear and uncut. The footage showed her walking into Elysium. Same coat, same bracelet, same man. The lighting flickered, her face turning toward the camera for a perfect second. Vivien froze, her breath hitched. The words she'd prepared evaporated. She started, then stopped. Her lips parted, but the air seemed to leave her lungs. He played the second clip. The valet camera, her laughing as the man opened the car door. Her hand brushing his arm. Then another angle. The kiss. Her voice came out thin. Where did you get this? Straight from the nightclub security system, he said. Time-stamped, chain of custody. You're a lawyer. You understand what that means. She backed away from the screen as if distance could change the picture. Graham, listen. It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like. Her knees seemed to give for a second. She caught herself against the couch. I didn't mean for it to go that far, she said quickly. It was one night, one drink. He cut her off. One lie. Her shoulders trembled. Please stop. You don't know what pressure I've been under. I made mistakes, but not like this. I never wanted to hurt you. He put the phone down on the table and folded his arms. You didn't hesitate when you looked me in the eye before that trip. You didn't stutter when you said you loved me. You didn't look pressured then. Vivien's voice broke. I thought I could control it. I swear it wasn't love. It was stupid and wrong. But I was trying to close a deal, and he took advantage of that. He raised an eyebrow. You were smiling in every frame, Vivien. Her eyes filled with tears. Graham, please don't do this to me. Take it down. I'm finished out there. My firm will suspend me if this continues. People I mentored will distance themselves from me. He said nothing. She dropped to her knees in front of him, hands clasped. Please, I'm begging you. Take it down before it spreads further. I may never work again. You've made your point. I'll do anything. Just take it down. He looked down at her, face still, voice low. When you lied to me, did you think about what would happen if I found out? Did you think I'd protect you after? You made a fool of me, in front of the whole world. She shook her head, crying harder. I didn't. Please, Graham, I'm begging you. I can't breathe, knowing everyone's watching those videos. Please take them down. Save what's left of me. He stepped back, his tone steady. What's left of you is what you chose. I'm not deleting the truth. Vivien covered her face, sobbing quietly. You've destroyed me, she whispered. He looked at her for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Then he spoke, low and final. You'll hear from my lawyer. Her breath caught. No, Graham, please don't do this. Don't end it like this. He turned toward the door. It already ended. Vivien, you just didn't notice when... She stumbled after him, her voice cracking. Please, I can't lose everything. I can't. He stopped at the doorway, but didn't turn back. You already did. Her scream came raw, breaking through the stillness of the house. She fell to her knees, clutching at the edge of the couch, as if she could hold on to something solid while her world collapsed. But Graham kept walking, through the door, into the cold air outside. Behind him, her sobs echoed through the quiet hallways, rising and falling, until the sound finally faded. And that was how it ended. Without shouting, without revenge. Just the truth. Standing exactly where love used to be. So viewers, do you think Graham was too brutal with the way he handled it? What would you do if you were in his shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting and true-to-life stories.